Radhe Radhe, Pallavi ji. Thank you, Padmini ji and Gayatri ji, for a wonderful session, like always. Welcome, everybody. A very warm welcome. Good morning, good evening to all of you. We are getting back after a little bit of a break. So I'm excited to be back and hope you are excited to be back as well. It was, I think we had 5 days break, 4 or 5, 6 days break, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so a bit of a break. So whenever there's a break, I lose touch, right? So it's like, okay, what am I going to speak today? But hopefully I'll get back into the groove as we get started. Good to see you, Shamji, back. Radhe Radhe Samji, Sandhya, and Rahul, all the usual ones. So welcome back to Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. So we did celebrate Guru Purnima. It was a very nice celebration. Picked up so much of gyan from Swamiji and during the course of these celebrations. And as best as I possibly can, I'll try to break it in today and tomorrow's session as well. Okay, so tomorrow, don't miss out on tomorrow's session. We're going to talk about types of gurus. Today we will tackle a very important question: how do I find a guru who is suitable for me? Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss today. Let me share my screen and we will get started with today's discussion topic. So let me share my screen. Let me know when you see my screen. Hope the audio video is fine.
Yes, it's perfect. Yes, I can see your screen.
Great. So let's get started with our opening prayers then. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening again, all of you. So we start by invoking the blessings from God and Guru. We had Guru Purnima, a wonderful function that we had, an opportunity to everybody around the world to think, contemplate about Guru and understand how deep that relationship is, right? We talk about sambandhis. Who's our true sambandhi? Nobody goes along with us when we depart this world. Even the soulmates, so called, they have to leave each other, and the only true soulmate is God. He has to accompany us. He does accompany us from lifetime to lifetime, regardless of which species we go in. And other sambandhi, that relationship which is maintained across lifetimes, is that between a guru and a disciple. That relationship is also a true nati or sambandhi, which transcends across lifetimes. So they are the true real sambandhis. Rest all are relationships which we are endowed with for a specific purpose, and then those roles keep on changing every lifetime. So let's get started. We are on Shloka 4.34 is what we have been discussing. We'll do a quick recitation. You're welcome to follow along, and then we'll get into the deeper discussion today. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshinaha. All right, I can see a few hands. Please go ahead.
Payal ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Tat vitti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnaninastatvadarshina. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Ashutosh ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Ashutosh ji, you've got a nice background today. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya ubdekchanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshinaha.
Very nice, Ashutoshi. So you are looking at the cosmic form of Lord Krishna. So now, as a Braj Rasik, you have to leave his Aishwarya Shakti aside and get to the loving form. But yeah, very nice backdrop. Nevertheless, let's move on.
So Radhe Radhe, Sandhya ji, please go ahead.
Sandhya.
राधे राधे तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षयन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Very nice, Sandhya. Wonderful.
Radhe Radhe, Manish ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, we can
Radhe Radhe everyone.
all the hands real quick. Yeah. So yes, Manishi.
Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashena seviya upadekshanti tijnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha.
Very nice.
Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Shyam ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Shyamji.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Shyamji.
Tadvidhi Radhe Radhe, can you hear me?
Yes.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshina. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, very nice, Shyamji. And your audio cooperated completely today. Okay, no interruptions whatsoever. So very nice.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you so much.
Anita ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Pallavi ji, I must congratulate you for your beautiful singing, such a lovely voice. It got me surprised. That's another side of you to look. Okay. Tadvidadhi pranipa tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshayanti te gnanam gnaninastatadvadarshinaha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tattvadarshina. Thank you.
Tattvadarshinaha.
Rupa ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe everyone. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnana jnaninastatvadarshinaha.
Thank you. Very nice, Rupa ji. Wonderful.
Rahul ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshayanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshina. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Rahul. So Pranipaten, it's there's a new Mahabharat. They made this word popular. So when they would greet, instead of saying pranam, it would say pranipaten. And it's a very deep word, pranipaten. What truly pranipaten means, we'll get into the depths of it later. But let's continue. I think we have quite a few hands, so we can do it quickly. I think.
Yes, Pragi ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshayanti te jnanam jnanistattvadarshinaha.
Thank you, Pragi ji. Very nice.
Venkat ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Coming to our last set of hands, let's quickly do that.
Radhe Radhe Pallavi ji, Radhe Radhe Nitin ji. Tatvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha.
Very nice. Pramodji, you did a perfect lip sync. So let's move on to the next one.
Sam ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Sam ji.
Radhe Radhe. Tatvidhi pranipatena pranipashnena sevaya updeshyanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshina. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Samji. The other Samji has taken a different avatar. Let's move on.
Riya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Riya ji.
राधे राधे तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः राधे राधे
Radhe Radhe. Okay, down to our last four hands, and we'll
Yes.
just limit it to
Akshata ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Akshata ji, your audio had some problem, but we could hear it.
Yes.
Let's take the
Shruti ji.
last three
Yes.
hands real quick.
Radhe Radhe, Shruti ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Pallavi ji, Radhe Radhe Nitin.
Radhe Radhe Shruti.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदिक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Nice, Shruti.
Radhe Radhe.
You also become a Krishna devotee. I can see that, which is good going.
Yeah, it's pretty old now, but thank you. Yeah.
Great. All right. Shri Ramya, please go ahead.
Shri Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe all. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Thank you.
Nice, Shri Ramya. Thank you.
Lakshmi ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe everyone. Tatvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshayanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshinaha. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you.
Pramod ji, Radhe Radhe.
Last
Last
one.
but yes,
Last one
please
for
go ahead, Radhe Radhe.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Thank you, Pramod ji. All right, Minal ji will make an exception real quick. Thank you.
Radhe Radhe Mrinal ji, please
Very
go
nice,
ahead.
Pramod ji.
राधे राधे नितिन जी राधे राधे पल्लवी जी तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेशन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Wonderful.
Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Minal ji. Thank you, everybody. Like I said, it's very auspicious just to recite these shlokas. So you have an opportunity to recite it as many times we do it here. It's very, very auspicious. So let's quickly get into that. It says, learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him with reverence and render service unto him. Such an enlightened saint can impart a knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Now, we spoke about the concept of who is a guru, right? Why guru is needed. And today we'll continue on that to say, how do I find guru suitable for me? It's a very important question, right? And one of the most important decisions of our life. If you look at our identity being a spirit soul, this association is the most deepest and the sweetest relationship you would ever have. Okay? Nothing can beat that, because this goes across multiple lifetimes, and with the passage of time, as we start evolving spiritually, this relationship keeps on getting sweeter, sweeter and deeper, because it transcends this body. It's an internal relationship and a very, very deep connection it is. So this being one of the most important decision of our lives, how do we come across a personality? How do we find one? Right? It's a very relevant question, and that is what we are going to tackle today. So let's go that. This shloka, we have not even gotten into the essence of this shloka as yet. We are just tilling the ground on guru, how do we find one and all, but we'll get into it in due course of time. So let's get into today's discussion then. Like I said, today we are going to discuss how do we discover suitable guru for ourselves. There must be some kind of a criteria, some kind of a lens, some kind of a metric, some kind of a yardstick, some kind of a feeling, some kind of an emotion, something should be there, right? Otherwise, how do we know? How do we find one? So we will try to take refuge from our scriptures and to decode this concept. Let's move on. So we need a guru because, let's do a quick recap for the benefit of people who might be joining, might have missed our earlier sessions. It's always good to have that. We wish to get divine happiness and experience and divine happiness. Okay, this is the basis for this. If somebody says, I don't need it, all right, then that person might be an exception, but we all need it because the material happiness is something which is not everlasting, stales, gives us law of diminishing return, and eventually we need to get that perfect happiness like a spiritual father has. And till that point, our heart will keep on craving for more and more and more. And secondly, nobody can escape janam, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. Nobody can escape the tritap, tridosh, panchaklesh, panchakosh, all the problems that come with the material world. Nobody is immune to that. It's just a matter of time before diseases catch up. Old age is waiting to embrace us. Right? And then janam, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, nobody can escape that. Then adi bhautik, adi devik, adhyatmik, all three kind of miseries we are subjected to. More recently being corona, there may be a nuclear war, there might be an earthquake, right? All kind of problems are there. And then obviously our mind, the afflictions that other people trouble us, our mind troubles us, our bodily miseries, so many things are there, which are basically the something which conditioned souls are subjected to. So this is the premise where we started off with. Now, if that is the case, the next step to that is the reason we are not getting such happiness is because of our ignorance. Okay, our scriptures say, Vedavyas himself said Ajnanameva shyahi mool karanam. Okay, it is the ignorance which leads us to, we don't have to suffer it. Okay, all these things, but because of the fact the knowledge is not there, we keep on suffering. It's a simple story. Is that there was a guy who goes to a doctor and his stomach is hurting. His stomach is hurting, and the doctor comes after an hour, so he had to tolerate that pain for an hour. And when the doctor comes, there's a shelf right next to him. He opens that cupboard, gets a bottle out and gives it to him, and within minutes his stomach ache is cured. And he said, if I had the knowledge that the medicine is here, I wouldn't have had to wait for 1 hour, right? Similarly, because of our ignorance, we don't know. The best we know is like a Koop Manduk Nyay Darshan talks about it, the things around us which we see, perceive, which are perceptible, immediately perceptible. We think these things are going to give me happiness. If not today, maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then one day. So scriptures tell us it's like you trying to extract milk out of stone, right? Or butter out of lime water. It will give you happiness, right? Temporary happiness, but not the lasting happiness that you're looking for. So because ignorance is the root cause of it, this process continues lifetime across lifetime. The next step, of course, is we need experts in every field, such as a doctor, lawyer, consultant. Now, when we go to a doctor, we simply subject Sharanagat to the doctor. Okay, doctor, you tell me, I'll do the same. Now, the doctor says, take bed rest for 1 month. Otherwise, you will not be fine. We'll say, all right, we'll do that. We go to a lawyer. Lawyer said, whatever I tell you, just speak that. Not even utter a single extra word. You just subject to that. So similarly, when you go to a consultant, you do the same, whatever they recommend to you. Swamiji gives a very beautiful story. I was myself in a consulting profession. Okay. Now, one of the things that you have to do as a consultant is to make sales. So it becomes your nature to sell stuff. I was obviously not good at it. So before they could fire me, I quit that job. Okay. It was just a matter of time before I would have gotten fired for non-performance. So as a consultant, there's a consulting company, they call it as a turnkey project. So Swamiji brought in a very nice story. So there was a big equipment setup. So they gave it to consultants, they outsourced it. And then when it was, after it started running in production, one day the machinery stopped. So when the machinery stopped, they called the consultant. So consultant came and he looked at everywhere and finally he found one screw was loose. He tightened it and he said, my bill is $100,000. He said, what are you doing? This has happened, daylight robbery that you are doing. You just tightened one screw and you are giving us a bill of 100,000. He said the job was 2 minutes, but to find which screw was loose, that is where the expertise or the whole study or the consulting business comes into picture. Similarly, we all have loose screws. So when it comes to spirituality, we cannot be our own doctor. Like some people say, I am my own guru. I have a direct connect with Krishna. I don't need a guru or a middleman. Or I am my own lawyer. We cannot say that. We need an expert in this field. And that is where Guru comes into picture. It is called Guru. The expert in spirituality is Guru. And Guru is the one who has the ability to understand the scripture because they are divine. We cannot understand the scriptures. You will lose it tomorrow session. I'm going to talk about how Maharajji was bestowed this, what led to all that. It's a very interesting story. So we cannot understand scriptures. They are divine and our intellect is material. We will pick up some selective thing, mull over it and get confused even more. And the true import is given by Guru only. In fact, Lord Krishna in Bhagavatam has told Uddhav, no one can understand but by my grace. And how do we get its grace? By perfecting our surrender. How do we do our surrender? We don't have the technology. Guru only will work with us. So the screws which are loose in us, Guru only can identify those and tighten those over time. Okay, that is the importance of a Guru on this path. So now let's tackle the question head on. There's a saying, when disciple is ready, it's a very, we have heard this saying, right? The master will appear. How does this process work is what we're going to look at. So we spoke about it briefly. Real Siddhi. So when you come across somebody who's a real saint I'm talking about means one who's Shrotriya and Brahmanisht, one who's well versed in scriptures, and at the same time he should be practically realized. Now if you go to, let's say you go for a surgery, would you go for somebody who's a gold medalist or a PhD in something, right, and straight out of the college, or somebody with 20 years of experience or 30 years of experience? Who would you prefer? Somebody with experience. So theoretical knowledge alone cannot take you far. You need somebody who has seen the truth, and that is the definition our scriptures are giving us about the real Guru, Shrotriya cha Brahmanisht. Now, one of the symptoms when you come across such a personality, let's look at that. There's a very strong indication about it. It is like, you see this fire. So in winters, it happens in India, northern India especially, people burn so many things just to feel the heat. Right? If you go to a railway station, you'll see they'll burn everything, including tire, just to get some heat. So when you come across heat, you have an immediate perception of heat, that okay, my body is feeling warm now, I'm feeling comfortable now, right? It is a pratyaksh praman, immediately perceptible quality. Similarly, as you get into the proximity of a person who is saintly, what is going to be immediately perceptible? This is the first indication. See, first of all, we are not there. We cannot, with our material intellect, we cannot understand who the Guru is. We spoke about some of the pitfalls. How does this person talk? How does he look? Does he have long hair? Does he have choti? Does he wear saffron? Is he in white? Those are not the criteria because it's an internal thing. But these are some of the indicators. This is the first and foremost strongest indicator. What is that? True saints, they are like fireballs of God consciousness. So when you associate with them, it cannot happen that you don't feel some form of detachment, vairagya from the world, and anurag with the divine. Some kind of feeling you will get, that affection, that attachment or love for God. So that transformational power upon us that you feel is the pratyaksh praman of a saint. That is the first and the foremost pratyaksh praman. Having said that, you may say, this pratyaksh praman, it is also a function of a few things. Now let's look at that. This is a very important concept. Okay, you will feel, but what you feel would vary. Okay, and what is it the function of? Let's look at it now. So let's look at this example of this transformational power upon us depend. What does this depend upon? It depends upon, you see 4 needles here and you see a magnet here, right? You see that? Now let's look at what happens to needle 1. Did you see what happened to the needle 1? What happens to the needle 2? You seeing the needle? What's happening to the needle 3? Now believe it or not, it is moving. Okay, you just have to be patient with it. It is moving, but relative to the other 2, we see its speed. And the 4th one, what's happening to the 4th one? Nothing. So what's going on here? All 4 needles, they have varying speeds towards this magnet. Anybody who wants to take this question? All right, we've got Sandhya, Samji. Yes, Sandhya, go ahead.
Yes, Sandhya. Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
But I heard this yesterday. Will it be cheating if I?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I know the answer.
Third student here. So
We
she
heard
brings
yesterday.
all her student skills to the fore. So yes, go ahead, Sandhya, explain that, and Samji can implement it. Right?
So yeah, it is about the purity. So you can have an alloy of iron, and if it is not 100% pure iron, it will not get attracted to magnet to that extent. So more the purity, better the attraction.
Beautiful.
That's the point.
Very nice. Yes, Samji, you wanted to add something?
Yes, Samji. Radhe Radhe, please go
Both ways also. The magnet itself should have the powerful effect also. So that is equivalent to a Brahmanist guru. So like the Brahmanist, same way the magnet itself is very powerful. At the same time, like Sandhya said, for the disciple, in this case, the metal, the needle may be of a mixed alloy or mixed with something. It doesn't have a purity of iron into 100%, something like that. So same thing, the disciple may not be having fully receptivity.
True.
So that both things go side by side.
Mm-hmm.
So two things need to be there. It has to be a real magnet, first of all. Right? We spoke about the concept of philosopher's stone, the parasmani, and the loha as well. So the contact has to be established. First of all, the magnet cannot be a fake magnet. It has to be a real magnet. And secondly, as you explained, we'll continue on that and we'll build on this discussion more. As you see, it is 100% ferrous iron. Second one is an alloy. If Ashaji is there, it is called Mishrit Dhatu, I believe. Mishrit Dhatu compound.
Mishrit Dhatu. Yeah.
Mishrit Dhatu, yeah, compound alloy. Third one has 20% iron, so obviously its speed is much lower. Fourth one is a wood, probably nothing, no iron in it at all, so it will not feel that attraction. So that means different people will have different perception of coming with the same saintly personality. Some will be like, wow, blown away. And same thing I experienced as well. You know, when I met Swamiji for the first time, I was like, if I can get somebody to attend one of his lectures, that's it, their life will change. But it didn't happen. And it took me a while to understand, no, it's not meant to be like that. You might also be feeling, when you feel inspired, you might think, okay, if we get one of our friends or family to come and attend one of the lectures of Swamiji or, you know, one of the sessions, it will be like no looking back. But it doesn't work that way. Okay? Different people have different perceptions depending upon what they're ready for. Now, what scriptures tell us, let's continue. Yes, Shri Ramya, you wanted to add
Can
something?
we take, yeah, Ramya ji's hand? Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Sorry, I had a question if it is appropriate to take now.
It is
My
highly appropriate. Please go ahead.
Okay. My question is, we need Guru to remove the impurities. And with impurities, we won't get attracted to Guru also. Like, what to do?
Yes, very good question. We'll continue. So this question will be answered by the end of this presentation. Okay.
Okay, Nitinji, Radhe Radhe.
We'll get. It's a catch-22 situation, right? Guru will remove our impurities, and then while we have impurities, how will we get attracted to a Guru? So what's the solution? So we'll get into that. Yes, Lakshmi ji, you also had a question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, almost a similar one. Like we know that we are not pure. So how we get attracted to the true Guru?
We'll get to that. True. So when we say pure, none of us is pure. When we are totally pure, we would become God realized. Then God will, via Guru, will give his divine grace, right? However, having said that, our Sanchit karma, when we have reached a particular tipping point, enough Sanchit karma or enough karma we have, and the prarabdha that is picked by God for a particular lifetime, right? If he picks up that and we have accumulated enough merit, he will arrange for a Guru at that point, okay? We'll get into that concept. Just give me some time. By the end of this, we'll come back to this, okay? So hopefully we'll get into that. So this is the attraction part I said. So first thing is, when you come in contact with the Guru, there's a vairagya and there is a anurag. There is a detachment and there is an attachment aspect you've experienced. Some level of vairagya for the world, right? We get so engrossed in so many things, you will experience that. Even if it is momentary, that is fine, but you will feel that. That is a power of their association. And obviously you will feel attachment towards God. Now that pace is determined by, we spoke about how much purity we carry at that point in time in our heart. Now let's move on to address this chicken and egg question. Hopefully we'll be able to address it by the end of our discussion today. Now what happens is, when you meet that, right, that male you saw who got immediately attracted, as you see, this is our heart line. What happens? Those hearts, right, are pure experience, such a pull who experience on meeting a true saint, they immediately feel inspired. Okay, this is another symptom that happens. And that person says, this is the person I was searching for. Their hearts will announce it to you. Okay, that's another thing. A lot of you might have experienced it, but this is something which is a very, very strong indicator. Okay, Swamiji explains this in our journey. When we do that, it's, you have to go and listen to different saints. Just go and sit there. You have to connect. But there would be one message, right, based on our past sanskars, that will cut through your heart. It will cut through your heart like a knife cuts through, a hot knife cuts through butter. Something will happen. Okay, that will give you some kind of an indicator. Now we're just talking about indicators here. Okay, we've still not gotten a very conclusive answer on it. Some indicators here. Let's continue to build on this discussion. So the heart will tell you something, right? Like they say in Hindi movie, kuch kuch hota hai, kind of a feeling you'll have, and more in the spiritual sense here. And some indicators you will start getting. Okay, now let's move on. Now teachers, if you look at it, like I said, if this world is a condition, it's basically a place for conditioned souls, and God is a merciful father. He wants us to give his entire inheritance once we are ready for it. Obviously, at every point in time of this creation, there are enough teachers out there. A game created without teachers is a very unfair game, and God is not unfair. So he has created enough teachers out there to cater to our needs, provided we are ready to take the first step. He's not going to put it in our just like that. Okay, provided we are ready to. What kind of teachers we have, they can vary. Okay, the teachers can vary depending upon what they are supposed to propagate. It could be Ashtanga Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Right? Some teachers might tell you to focus on your dhyan and just Paramatma, he's inside you. Some will say self-realization is the goal of life. Somebody will say surrender and devotion is the way to go. Now, all of these teachers, we have to understand here few things. It's a very important concept. Please make a note of it. Okay, this will help us on this journey. Now, true saints, they do the work God has assigned to them, and they are equally praiseworthy. Okay, we don't get into the discussion of this is better, that is better, this is not right. This is called Vitandavad or debating. Okay, first thing that needs to be avoided. Second is, if they are genuine saints, if they are, we should never criticize their works. Okay, never criticize, because knowingly, unknowingly, if we end up criticizing the saint, okay, it has to be a saint, first of all, not a material person who is pretending to be a saint. We have spoken about that concept earlier. Then it is called a spiritual transgression, which is not good for our spiritual journey. So suspend your judgment. Maybe I know enough, rather than starting criticizing somebody. It becomes a habit, right? Looking at something and start criticizing. We should refrain from that, because we don't know who's a true saint. The third thing is, we should look at a teacher who teaches our path that suits our sanskars. So if you have done a lot of Gyan Yoga in your previous life, you will have an affinity to get attracted to that path. If you have been an Ashtanga Yogi in your previous life, you will have an affinity. One of my friends is a super Ashtanga Yogi. All he wants to do is get up and do all the kind of yogas, Shirshasans, and finally his aim is to do Samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, right? So I'm tempted to tell him, right, finally you have to do Bhakti, but I don't, now that I understand the principle, although that temptation is very strong all the times. But then obviously that is his chosen path. Maybe one day he will get graced with a saint who will take his journey forward. But then we have to respect all the paths what people are doing, right? Whether people are following Jainism, Buddhism, whichever religion, they're making progress, and that is everybody's perfectly situated where they need to be, right? That at least enables the next step for them. So that is another thing. And secondly, the most important thing is, just because somebody's teaching some basic stuff doesn't mean they don't know the deeper knowledge. So teacher may be a PhD. When assigned to a primary class, they will teach 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Okay? So Guru Gobind Singh, Kabir Ji, they simplified things. They were saints, they were realized souls, right? Even though they did not have formal education, that's not needed. That is all material stuff. They were spiritually elevated people, right? Super academic when it comes to spiritual. But they delivered the message in a very simple way. That doesn't mean they did not have the complete knowledge, but it's a function of the audience, time, and what they have come there for. So they are doing the work of God, and what is appropriate for the audience at that time, that is much they deliver. Guru Gobind Singh, he knew all the scriptures. Now Kripaluji Maharaj, he quotes all the scriptures. It was needed, but there are a lot of saints who don't do that, because that is not what their avatars is there for. And tomorrow we'll talk about different gurus who come. It is a very important topic, and you won't have heard it at many places. It's a very, very esoteric or not so well understood or not so much discussed topic that we're going to pick up tomorrow. But teachers, when they come and teach, it does not reflect on what they are truly capable of teaching. If they're teaching primary students, they will be teaching basic stuff. Right? Jesus, he taught very basically. He told that I have much more to tell you, right? But people, if you're only what you are ready for, a good teacher will tell you that. And the sign of a good guru or a teacher is he knows exactly what the disciple needs, where they are stuck. He's not going to give you a generic gyan for everybody. So it's like different shloks for different folks. Right? So that guru only can do that. Otherwise, a normal teacher will give the same gyan to everybody. So this is another concept. Now, what happens is, we said that, let's get into this topic now. Guru, Hari Kripa Guru Mile, Govind Radhe. And this concept has to be understood. Guru Kripa Hari Mile, Sabko Bata De. We spoke about the concept that we attract God's grace. God grace comes via Guru, right? And Guru will work on us to cleanse us. And once we are completely cleaned, God will bestow his divine grace. Then we said our attraction towards identifying that Guru is dependent upon our purity, right? Now, if we don't have that, coming back to that question that was posed by Lakshmi ji and Ramya ji, if we don't have that, God is seated within us. He knows our deepest desires. So finally, the most important aspect is God only graces us and arranges us for us to meet the Guru. So it's with God's grace we meet the Guru, and with Guru's grace we finally meet God. Now, what do? Should we simply wait for God's grace now? If, let's say, we did not have that purity in this life, which is needed for us to get attracted towards a Guru, or we did not meet a Guru, or even if we meet a Guru, we did not felt that attraction towards a Guru, what do? Raise our hands and simply wait for God. Okay, God, whenever you will desire, you will do Kripa, then I'll meet, so I have nothing to do now. No. The thing here is, we have to have a sincere seeking and that longing. And in due course of time, God knows our deepest desires. Why are we approaching a Guru? Are we approaching a Guru because we want to go to Swarglok and enjoy something or get some material boon, go to that visa temple so that we can go to US, or become the king of the celestial abode so that we can enjoy, do the bhog to the maximum extent? God knows our deepest desires. He knows us better than we know ourselves, and better than what we acknowledge ourselves to ourselves. So if your intention is anything other than, he will make you meet people. There are enough gurus out there, right? There was a Babaji who would say, Kripa barsegi, right? You eat samosas, you do this, that, and Kripa will. So then he will lead you to gurus there as well. Because the important concept here is, this is corroborated, this shloka, which Radha Govind Geet, it says that Hari Kripa Guru Mile Govinda Radhe, Guru Kripa Hari Mile Sabko Bata De. What God does is, let's look at this shloka. I've picked up another shloka from 15:15. In this, Lord Krishna is saying, I am seated in the hearts of all living beings. And from me come memory, knowledge, as well as forgetfulness. So the knowledge that this is a true guru, or this is where you need to go, that faith is also solidified by God himself. Without his grace, we cannot. So let's say you meet a guru. The fact that he's the right guru for me, that faith will be established, solidified, reinforced by God himself. And if you have not met a guru, based on your desire, he'll lead you to somebody that is needed for you at that point in time. If all you care for is that, my son should get married, my daughter should get the medical seat, or my, I should get the visa and things like that. If we are focused only on the material things, then God will arrange you to meet somebody who might having sattvic siddhis, rajasic siddhis, or other siddhis, who will probably have some symptomatic cures for you until you are intellectually convinced this also did not give me the happiness that I was looking for. But in the process, we have actually lost precious time. That can happen too. So the point here is, what we can work on, our intention. What we can work on is our seeking. What are the reasons for which I am seeking God? Am I seeking God as a medium to attain God world, or am I seeking God as a medium to attain God or his bhakti? That is a question for our own introspection, nobody else. Ironically, we ask God from world, and we ask world from the God. When we go to God, we ask for the world. I need this, I need this, I need that. When we go to the world, we ask for God. Why? From every relationship, we want that perfect happiness. Perfect happiness is only God. Nobody has an ability to give us that perfect happiness. It's like a beggar asking another beggar for money. It is a false promise all the relationships around us do, that, okay, come to me, I'll give you happiness. And I have that happiness, but our experience would tell us that doesn't take us too far. And our scriptures are telling us we don't have that ability. And that perfect happiness that our soul is craving for can only be given by God. And the process to attain that is provided by Guru. God meets you via Guru. Nobody can directly go to God. God's rule is, I will meet you when you are pure. How do you become pure? My representative work with him. So Guru is somebody who has seen the truth, who's endowed. Basically, there's no difference between God and Guru. Guru is endowed with the all set of divine powers that God has. So when you start working with a Guru, you have become Sharanagat to him. That connection is established. You start following the teachings. Then the process starts to unfold, starts beginning. Let's move on. So the important thing is, God is seated within us. He knows our intentions. And that is what we are going to have a bit of a discussion as well today on the concept that, let's look at this. Here is God, and there is the faith aspect of it, right? Now, faith is provided by God based on our intention behind seeking. So let's get a bit of a discussion and questions I can take on this part, because the faith aspect and providing for or arranging to meet a perfect guru is something that God takes care of. He's seated within you. Eventually, he'll guide you. He'll reinforce that faith. However, what counts is two things. One is, you might have accrued enough good karmas to meet a guru in this life. That can happen too. And second is, even if you not have, then the only thing that we have control over is our intention and the seeking. And the concept here is that faith is solidified by God. So for whatever reason we are seeking, he will make you meet that kind of a guru in this life. So if you meet people, they have gurus in their life, and they will say they're the best thing that have happened to them. Now, the question to be asked yourself is, if it is helping you progress spiritually, yes, great. That is truly serving your purpose. If it is helping you advance materially, then it is not a sustainable game, because nobody has an ability to give us material gains for a longer period of time. Eventually, law of karma takes over, and it is not good for our spiritual journey anyways. But that faith, wherever your faith is getting reinforced, is dependent upon the intention for what you started seeking to begin with. Let's have a quick discussion on this, and we can take a few questions as well. Yes, Shri Ramya.
Yes, Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. So I had one question. Like in the previous slide, you said when we meet a guru, we'll have that intuition. Our heart will know, like he's the one I've been searching for. So my question is, if we don't recognize, does the guru recognize? Will he get to know when he meets his disciples that he was my disciple in last life and he didn't do anything? Then I've come here again for him. And what does the guru do in those cases? Can guru recognize us if we don't recognize him?
So this is how it goes. Guru does not play against the rules of the Vidhis Vidhan or God's rules, right?
Okay.
You would know that you are there, almost there, but until you are there, he's not going to do something. But there could be Black Friday sales like us. I feel I got picked up in a Black Friday sale. Okay, I had no eligibility whatsoever for whatever reason. It may so happen. I don't know if there's a Kripa avatar of some guru who has come just to give Kripa, then people like me can get picked up. Okay, so you keep your fingers crossed, but typically that is an exception to the rule. When you are ready, then only Guru will intervene. But Guru, if you're asking me, do they know? Yes, of course they know. They know the Sanchit karma of all the people who have come and heard, they are hearing them. They know the thought of every moment of every lifetime that I told you, right? God gives his own power when somebody becomes God realized. So if it is a true saint, nothing is hidden from them, including what you are thinking, what you have thought in all your lifetime. Everything is, they get the report. They have the open, it's like an open letter for them at that point. But are they going to make an exception to the rule? I don't know. Maybe during Kripa avatars it happens, but generally they will wait. So what we can do in the meantime is just have a sincere seeking and yearning and to God that I want to do that. I want to make a difference in my spiritual life. Eventually God will lead us to it. That's the best we can do in those situations. Yes. Answer your question, Shriram.
Yes, Radhe Radhe. Shyamji, please go ahead.
Yes, Shyamji.
Yeah, Radha, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Bhai, as you said that the heart melts when you meet the person first time. See, I'll just take my example. I do get attracted to people very immediately, initially. But after a point, after some time, I try to introspect, I try to judge, I try to gauge, and then I just move away. And I do not know is this true, correct or not, but this is the way I normally do. So in my case, I did have had attraction towards such godly people initially. Also. And second point is it necessary that to have God, to meet God or have God's grace, I do need a guru? Because I do not know, because what I'm saying only for myself, not in general. So what do you have to say about that?
Two questions. One is you judge, that is fine.
Yeah.
Judging, we have to do intelligent judging. We cannot judge, okay, it seems like this, it seems like that, it seems like this. Today my mood tells me this, tomorrow my mood tells me that. It has to be intelligent judging. When you say that means you are not being skeptical just for the sake of being skeptical, where your mindset is skeptical about things around you. You hear them carefully, honestly, with an open mind. You try to employ their teachings and sees if it makes a difference or not. Like any other thing, if you want to build a six-pack or if you want to lose weight, what do? You read a book, you put faith in that author. Okay, Rijita Divakar says that I have to follow this routine. You follow that. If it doesn't make a difference, you move on to the next thing without having any feeling about anybody, right? So it has to be an intelligent inquisition with an open mind, with a clear heart. Then God will lead you to the right person. But if you're simply judging without taking any accountability of doing something on our own, following some of the instructions, doing the practices they are telling you, then it's not going to make much of a difference, right? In one of the shlokas, Krishna himself says, Sanshyatma vinashyati. The one person who keeps on doubting neither gets happiness in this world nor in the world thereafter. So doubting is fine as long as it is constructive, as long as it is with a good reason. But if we simply keep on doubting the entire world forever, for the rest of our lives, it will neither give us happiness here, not after this life. And Krishna has very clearly said that in one of his shlokas. I can send you that shloka. So
maybe
is good.
Sorry.
Inquisition is good, but then it has to be backed up with some accountability as well around that.
Maybe see people around the Swamis, Gurus are so hurt because suppose if I have to meet a Guru,
Voice is breaking.
I have to coach him. People.
Your voice has started trailing off
Is it
again.
okay now?
Yeah, now it's
Yes,
Is better now? I know. Is better now?
little better.
I'm saying if I approach a guru and I know the guru is perfect for me or for any sense whatsoever, but the people around him make it difficult for me to approach him. They behave act such a way that they make him feel more importance than I do not know what I'm saying, but I think you're getting my point, Arjun bhai. Because I have felt the same. I try to approach, I try to have faith, whatsoever you say. Say I do have faith in gurus. That's not the case. I don't have faith. But I just do not need a guru. I don't know. That's how I feel. I do need God's grace, that's for sure. But maybe I'm not designed that way. I do not know what I'm saying, but
Okay, I understood.
maybe you can get what I'm saying.
Yeah, little bit, I get that. So basically, you are not intellectually convinced that you need a guru or a middleman, right? So this realization will gradually dawn on you as well. Because we spoke about this topic on the very first day, right? A lot of people say, why do I need a guru? I'm my own guru. A lot of people say, I'm on my own guru. I have my direct.
And I'm not saying no, I don't say that at all. Because I am not whatever you call sure, that intellect, that intelligent, that whatever you call it, Jnani, whatever. I have no clue what the Vedas say, what the Gyan says, what the Gita says, what Bhagavatam says. That way I am zero, zilch. I totally admit that, I get that. But I do not know. After a point, after a couple of years, I find that everybody is the same. They all gurus want what is themselves. They want them to be praised, them to be heard, them to be whatever. I no offenses to anybody. I am not that powerful or that to say to anything to anyone.
Understood.
This is how I feel normally, because whenever I try to approach a guru, the people around them make it difficult for me to get hold of him. I do not know.
Understood. It will happen in due course of time. You have to be patient around it. Just make sure your intentions continue to be pure and you approach it with a clear heart. It will happen in due course of time. Krishna is smart. He's called Tribangi Lal, right? Crooked from three places. He has his ways. So maybe it's not meant to happen right now. He's checking your intention or how much desperation you have around it, and it will happen. And when it will happen, you will say, it just happened. It just fell on my lap. It happens with a lot of people. The one person is sitting right in front of you, and a lot of people can tell when it happens, it just happens one thing after another. So when it has to happen, it will happen. Don't lose faith. What I'm trying to tell you is that don't get into a mindset of being skeptical about things around you. It will happen in due course of time. So until then, just keep your intentions pure and pray to Krishna. It will happen in due course of time. This next one, Ankushi.
Yes.
I am desperate for Krishna, that's for sure, but not for Guru. I do not know why, how.
Like I said, it will happen in conversation. It will happen in due course of time.
So in this
And
context,
do I need to have a guru for the first place? Why can't I have God's girl directly? Is that how the God has designed his ways? I need to have a guru to go to him.
Absolutely. And this is what scriptures are saying. We went into a great depth into this topic. If you think you can achieve God realization without a guru, you will be the first person to do that. So very best wishes. Eventually it will dawn on you. You have to be patient until that point. If you go by scriptures, it is very clearly said. And that is the reason even Ram Bhagwan, Krishna Bhagwan, although they didn't have to, and it is said in Bhagavatam, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, it is said in multiple scriptures. So it's a moot point.
That I know, I have read that. That's for sure. I totally get the point. Everybody had a guru because Krishna Bhagwan also had to go to guru. That scriptures say. I have no doubt in that. But it is, I don't know, maybe you're right. It's just my mindset, my skepticism, I don't know. It's all about me, me, myself. I totally get the point, Bhai.
It will happen. I have to be patient around it.
Can I answer this question, Nitin bhai?
Sure. Please go ahead.
Look, first of all, it is very important to have a guru, because without guru, it is, it is like a elevator to take us up, because it's on the right path. And that's why it's very, very important to have a guru. And second thing, like Shyam is saying, that people around him is not letting him hold on to one guru. In my understanding, it is such that, like you can be in one lifetime, you can be going to different gurus, but that does not mean that you don't have a guru. You might be in a chhatra chaya of different gurus, because you have to go through those lessons in your life, that particular lifetime. That is why you keep jumping from one guru to another guru, and that it is like, mera and tera is only in this world where we are. But the minute we move to the inner world, it is not mera or tera. It's like, okay, this disciple needs to be uplifted. So, say for few months or few years, he could be under a guidance of JK Yog or maybe some other guru. I mean, so it is like, it is up to him that, he might have to climb those stairs or pass those hurdles to reach to the guru where he belonged to, and his guru is waiting for him.
True.
So
के विचारों से मैं एकदम
this
सहमत
is
हूं. Very nicely articulated, and that is the way to approach it. The day it has to happen, you will be surprised. Why did it happen? I was not the one who would settle for a guru just like that, and it has happened. You will surprise yourself the day it has to happen. Until then, you got to be patient. I think we can have more offline discussion on it. I see a few more. We can continue on this topic because it's a very important topic, and I know you have a lot of questions around it. Let's take the remaining hands, and I'll give you a call after this, Shyamji, and we can discuss more. What's going on in your head. I think you have a lot of thoughts around that.
Yes, Ankurji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yes, Ankurji.
Radhe Radhe, Nitin. Radhe Radhe, everybody. So, Nitinji, my question is, see, at times I have seen people, or maybe it would have happened with me also, that we get attracted to the people, those who call themselves as guru. Maybe, we have various examples, those who have been, those gurus who have misled people, So, how do we understand that? And it's too late when people realize that we are being, we are following the wrong person.
Understood. Like any other profession, even in this area, unfortunately, there is no dearth of counterfeit currency. Okay, that's what we spoke about on the first day as well. What are some of the symptoms? I hope you attended that session where you can say these are the 6 or 7 indicators you're not engaging with the right person. Okay, you'll get an example around that. 6 or 7 things we spoke about. Maybe we can revisit that concept. Having said that, the people who get cheated, they also have to take part of that responsibility. You can't simply put it on that person. Now, it again goes back to what was the intent behind seeking the guru at that point? What were you looking for, right? If you were looking for getting the next promotion after eating 2 samosas or giving something in charity, like you got, somebody made you believe, you also have to take accountability. You can't have bitterness about a guru because he swindled you, cheated you, or turned out to be somebody, not somebody who could have taken your spiritual journey forward. You also take responsibility for that, not just for that person, because you fell for them. There was a impure intention around approaching that guru as well. And when I say impure means anything other than related to asking for God. Those intentions lead to such people, and God is seated. Maybe that's part of our learning. Maybe it's part of the overall package that where he leads us to some people to understand the things that we need to be cautious about. That's again part of that. Krishna says, I am the knowledge. He only solidified your faith because that's what you were seeking. And finally you got cheated. It gives you a perspective that, you know what, I need to be looking for something else. As long as we take it as a learning without getting bitter, you're moving forward. How else can you do that? I mean, there's no other way. If there is match fixing in cricket doesn't become any less, right? So if there are such kind of people, that doesn't mean there's a dearth of good people or true gurus or saints out there as well. We can only pray to God, lead me to a right person and not to somebody who can derail my spiritual journey. We can only pray that and have pure intentions. We don't have any other means to actually safeguard our interest other than these 2 things.
So, Nitinji, adding to this, I would not take much time. If in case, let's suppose someone had pure intentions and, that person fall trap of a wrong person, a wrong guru or a wrong, guide. So, how do we understand? Why are we being penalized,
Why are you, like somebody near and dear one of you got hooked, and because of that you are facing, it can happen, right? Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik and Adhyatmik. You fell for one of these. So Adi Bhautik are the ones which other people bring, Adhyatmik are the ones which miseries that other people bring upon you. And this could be one of those, right, where a guru, counterfeit guru brought upon that misery. I mean, one of those happenings that we have to deal with, right? A lot of people, they get cheated even in their business. A lot of people get cheated in their job. Is one of those things. I mean, nobody can safeguard that. Only thing we have control over is our intention, why we are seeking something. And that intention will tell you whether it is for the pure reasons or for some kind of selfish gains. And when you are going with the selfish gain, there's no dearth of people who will give you that promise that listen to this katha, listen to this discourse, and Swarg will roll out a red carpet for you. Okay, that attracts you, then good luck. That's all scriptures are telling us. Go with a sincere intention, God will not lead you astray, because he's our well-wisher, and he will not lead us to somebody who's not good for our spiritual journey, because we are seeking our growth in spiritual side. That's the only thing. Purity of intention is our insurance policy.
I have endless questions on this too, just to, in the mind, those are coming. It's okay. I mean, I understood the crux.
Put it in the feedback tracker. Maybe we can have an offline conversation.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And any
Yeah,
announcement
thank you.
you wanted to make? We have a few things we can quickly make announcements.
Yes, Nitinji,
I'll stay back and we can conclude our discussion. Quite a few hands are there.
Yes. So first of all, I want to share that feedback tracker is already in the chat box. So please put all your questions, queries, and we can understand that there's so many questions around the topic. So please put your questions. And there are a quick announcements about the parenting workshop. So it is, please do not forget to register. It looks like Parenting Workshop is a 4-workshop series to help parents rediscover the joy of parenting. The highlights are 4 workshops on parenting for a higher purpose, inspiring videos from messages from Swamiji, parenting life hacks, and interactive activities, practical application, and many more. Panel discussions, guest speakers. It will be in person in the temple and also online on Zoom, and that is starting from July 18. And in person is starting from July 16. So please, I have posted the link. Please register yourself, take a look at it, and hope that you can register. And the quick another announcement is that there's still the tour of Swamiji's tour is going on. Currently, Swamiji is in Los Angeles, California, and his life transformation with Swamiji Mukundananda, the series is going on from July 14th to July 20th. So anyone who is around LA or in California area can take benefit of this program. And on July 16th, it's cruise ride with Swami Mukundananji.
Wow.
So that is something very interesting. Highlights is cruise with Swamiji for education and healthcare for underprivileged. Whale watching, satsang with Swamiji, lunch and question answer. Sounds very exciting, all the events. So yeah, please take advantage of this and please take a look at this. I have posted all the links in the chat. And there are some messages in the chat also. I'll quickly read. Smita ji has mentioned, Guru recognizes the true disciple. The best example is Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. First time when Vivekananda met Ramakrishna, he was not prepared, but with all doubts and in mind. But Ramakrishna was very glad and felt this is the one I was looking for.
It is an instant connection when that a perfect master and a perfect disciple come in contact. It's like, a mother meeting a child, long lost child. That kind of a instant rapport would be there. But of course, but for people like us, we also feel attracted based on our past good sanskars, and we have reached a tipping point. And if we are not, then we still have to, what do? We can't keep on waiting, right, forever. So sincerity, purity of intention, and seeking it for the right reason, we continue to do that and pray to God. That's the best we can do, right? And then when the disciple is ready, master will appear. Master has to appear. Master has no choice but to appear. That is the law of God. That is how it works. And the faith will also be solidified because Krishna himself is your memory. He gives you the knowledge, he becomes your memory, and he's also the forgetfulness in us. There are few things we need to forget. If you remember everything, it's not good for us. So Krishna knows what to make us forget as well. Yes.
All right, we can move ahead. And Lakshmi ji, thank you for waiting. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Nitinji, one of your slides you showed us teacher and three types Gnan, and can you put on that slide again?
Okay, I can.
Yeah, this one. So what exactly that first one, Ashtang Yoga, means?
Yeah, Ashtanga Yoga is basically the path of realizing God as a Paramatma inside you. So the peak of that is Samadhi. So when you do your yoga, right? When you do Yoga Dhyan, Yoga Siddhis, you get into that. Your Nirvikal Samadhi is the ultimate state where you become union one with Paramatma. Okay, that is the path of Ashtanga Yoga. In Jnana Yoga, you do the self-realization. You look at the light effulgence of God and you think of God's Nirakar, Nirgun Swarup, and you merge with that. So there are different paths, and based on our past sanskars, there's typically a tendency for us to get attracted towards one of the paths. People do switch based on the knowledge, but there is a typical tendency, and people typically find those kind of paths more attractive. So that can happen as well. We need to understand that part and not become critical of somebody else's practices. Having said that, we have the benefit of understanding scriptures completely. So in all the parts of bhakti is needed regardless.
Okay. Yeah, two more questions. Can I?
Sure.
Yeah.
You asked the second question before the first one?
Yeah, first is this only, the doubt which I had.
All right.
The next is I to get attracted to people like who are at a higher level, and so I think as you said, we approach them with our material intention or to get queries or solutions to our problems. So in that condition, we are going to some guru or the same person, and for our desires or whatever it is, so that intention, if you are going, do we get that feel that once we go to that saint, if he's real guru, and I mean if he's maybe he may be a guru for me, but at the first step, if I go with a materialistic intention, can I get the feel of that?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm not an expert in this topic. I'm going by what our scriptures say and what Maharajji and Swamiji has told us. But like I said, people do follow gurus, right? Who give them material boons, or even some Siddha Purush also at times, they remove your obstacles in life. And God only solidifies faith in them. And people do fall for people who only promise material things only, right? So all kind of diversity is out there in this world. So that means it happens. Otherwise, nobody would fall for any guru who's simply promising material things. Because it happens, that means God only solidifying that faith. And why is God solidifying? He's our well-wisher. Why would he solidify the faith? Because that's probably the lesson we need. We have thought that there is happiness in this world, and this guy is going to give me this happiness. He said, okay, try it out, be my guest.
Okay.
So it can happen. It can happen. Your faith can get solidified there also.
Yeah. So I want to share in this situation. I went to my friend's house for a puja, Rudrabhishekam, and her guru was performing that. So then while before starting that puja, he gives some instructions like what it is done, why it is done, and how you should concentrate to get some punya out of that. Fine. Then the puja was started, and he said you have to concentrate on that to get some benefit out of this attending puja. So as a monkey mind, once you sit silent, it wanders all sides, that work, this work, and then I could feel that that saint was pulling all my thoughts which are not needed at that moment and made me to concentrate on that puja. Is that the feel the same what you're telling, that guru and a disciple?
I don't know about that. So what is the promise here? Is the promise to develop devotion for God, or is the promise to get some material benefit out of it?
No. I just not with the material. I just went for attend puja. That's all.
Okay, so the vibes,
But
when you come in contact with
yeah,
the vibes are
exactly.
strong,
Yeah.
you will feel better connection with God. Okay, so
Mhm.
that is what we spoke about, right? So when you
Yeah.
are in their vibes, like I've seen when I sit in Kirtan in front of Swamiji, the concentration level and the feelings that you get are at a different level as opposed to when you do it on your own. So their vibes are of course strong, right? You can feel that, sense that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can happen. Yeah, sure.
But the next thing what happened is he himself said something is different in your face when compared to whole people who were sitting there. So I couldn't understand what he said, but I was not supposed to ask what he meant because he is at a higher level. And next he himself said to my friend, I'll go to her house, she has some problem. Then I approached to him with the materialistic intention. He heard for 5-10 minutes and they said, I can't give a solution here. I'll come to your house, visit, see your house, and then give a solution. He do came and gave some suggestion. Is it all what is a grace or what is this? I couldn't sketch it out actually.
I don't know, Lakshmi, to be honest, I'm not qualified. But if you ask me simply going by the principles, typically saints don't engage in material things, right? They have themselves given up. You ask Guruji, why did you give up
Yeah.
material world?
Okay.
They will say because material world is not something that gives you lasting happiness. Then why are you distributing material world around? Right? It's a very logical question. If material world is poison for us, why would somebody who has renounced material world will keep on distributing material world or solving problems for us in this world? That is the first indication, I would say, where if somebody is engaging only at that level, is we spoke about it, a true saint would typically not engage at that level.
But he didn't say all that. He just said one correction in the house, which is against Vastu. That's the only thing he said, and he went off.
Okay.
So is it what that is
I
feeling
don't.
of
I think
attraction towards him?
you would have to give it a long rope. And
Okay.
if your association leads you to develop more love for God, then he's a true saint. If it takes you more in the material world, let me correct this vastu, let me wear this anguti, let me do this vrat, let me do that,
Yeah.
let me wear this kapda, then you are not in the right path. That's all I can tell you.
Okay. And so one more question. So when we are getting knowledge in this platform, when we get doubts, it is cleared in this platform. So do we really need a guru again now?
Yes, these doubts that I'm talking are theoretical doubts. Yeah, they are coming from a facilitator. Okay, facilitator can get you near the river. He cannot take you across the river. Okay, for that you need a boatman. Boatman has to be a realized saint. So you have to understand that difference. Just clarifying your doubts is not good enough. That is the beginning of your journey. You still have to cross over, and Guru only can tell you where you are getting stuck. So yes, tilling of the ground will happen, which is a wonderful thing. Right? Theory part is 50% of the journey, but Guru can actually start chiseling you. They only can do that. Okay, ordinary people cannot do that. So that is the important.
So now I can say I get transformed. I have been shopping like as Sham said in his presentation, like I was doing changing on, switching on to one goddess to other god,
Shopping,
and so
Guru
it
shopping,
has
Guru shopping. Okay.
shopping. So it happened to me as I've already shared with you. Now I'm loving Krishna. I want to see Krishna's leelas, then the flute, the music, and the YouTube and all that. So now, actually, I spend more time on that rather than my actual work. Is it something wrong or right?
No, it is. See, if you think about it, all the scriptures, right? Even Quran and Bible, the essence of all the scriptures is to develop, cultivate love for God. Okay? So if you're feeling a pull towards that, nothing like it. The best thing to happen. Having said that, you still have to have a sense of duty around what you need to do, right? Because the world does not demand your mind. The world demands your work. Has your boss come and said, give your mind to me? Okay,
No.
you just think about me and do the work, and no, of course not. Nobody demands your mind. No, your
Okay.
mind could be in Krishna and still you could be performing work. That is the art you need to perfect. That is what is Karma Yoga. So,
Okay.
and then obviously there will come a stage, God will start making it increasingly easier and easier for you so that you can focus more and more divine, just being alone and focusing on Krishna. But until you reach your stage, you have to continue discharging your duties. Right?
Okay.
And that
Right.
practice is Karma Yoga basically, because the world does not demand. People at home want you to cook food. They don't say, give me your mind. So you can continue cooking food and thinking about Krishna. Okay, I'll offer prasad to him. He'll also have dinner with us. So you start building that
Yeah.
consciousness. Nobody-
What I mean to say is not exactly skipping my duties, but maybe that the time which I used to waste in other unnecessary things, I'm trying to think about him or seeing the leelas or listening to music and all.
It is a wonderful problem to have if you're thinking of it as a problem. Okay. People have to force themselves to do that, and you are feeling the pull. That means that is the grace. That is the true sign of progress. It's a beautiful thing to happen.
Okay.
You are doing
Thank you.
yourself a huge favor, I would say. Just keep multiplying this dose, whatever you are feeling.
Okay.
It is very purifying for our mind, and the best thing we can do to ourselves in our free time, rather than playing cards, thinking about the world, worrying about that daughter-in-law or anybody. This is the best thing we can do. Immerse ourselves in Leelas, thinking about God, hearing kirtans, reading something good. It is uplifting and purifying our mind, and it draws more of God's grace. So what we
Yeah,
are doing is losing.
especially the flute music which I've downloaded.
It's very nice. So continue doing
Yeah.
that. It's a very nice
Right.
thing, Lakshmi.
Okay. Thank you. Radhe Radhe. And sorry I took most time.
No worries, no worries. That's fine. I think we can spend some more time.
Venkatji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Venkatji.
Radhe Radhe Nitinji. As everybody has, I also have many questions, but I'll not ask all the questions here. I know we're already out of
We can have
time.
a discussion. I think it's a very important topic.
I'm actually putting them in your feedback tracker this time. So a couple of quick questions, sir. So can we have more than one guru at any given point of time, not in a progression like initially one guru, then followed by next level, then next level? That is a different case. But at any given point of time, for example, me right now, so can I be associated with more than one guru for the same spiritual purpose?
So initially that is fine if you are getting some benefit. Eventually, when you start progressing on this path, the ananyata is a natural consequence of it. Ananyata, which is called ananyata. The reason for that is two gurus may have different ways of telling you the same thing, right? Depending upon what they are teaching. That if yet ananyata will not come, you will not settle for one message. You'll always be in ambiguity or confusion. So finally, once you understand, you start relating to the principles of a guru and it start transforming you. You continue that ananyata will eventually come. That is also a sign of progress. But if you're not having that ananyata, that means your mind is still not decided. It's unsettled. It's toggling between two boats. So typically, ananyata has to come eventually. You cannot do 3 or 4 gurus at the same time because each will have its own way of imparting that message, and that will not give you that deepen that relationship as such. So there's typically one guru that you go with. It's just like falling in love, right? You can't fall in love with 10 people at the same time. Ananyata is needed as well.
Thank you, sir. So the next question, quick question again. So this is generally in our Gurukul, the traditional things of like Guru and Shishya Sambandh has to be in a physical connection face to face and then sitting next to each other or close by. But here nowadays in this situation where we are, nowadays we are in remote, that's okay, one thing. But otherwise also we are out of country. So like we are kind of far away from the real gurus. So we don't get that opportunity. Do we still have that connection, or how do we take this point?
Yeah, so it's good to have a guru or a mentor with whom you can have a direct conversation or get your doubts resolved. That's the best case scenario. If you don't get that privilege, then guru will arrange that somebody comes along in your life who's able to impart the same message, so it will come across very transparently to you. Okay. Third thing is, if you don't even get that, then once you have understood the guru's teaching, you follow that itself will start building that connection. There will come a stage where you don't need him physically anymore. Okay, so this is a very deeper connection which goes across lifetimes, as I say, and even in your day-to-day life, you will start experiencing him in a lot of situations. That is how deep this relationship goes. The condition is you start following his teachings with faith and reverence, and that connection will automatically get established. But it definitely helps if you have Guru's teachings with somebody face to face who can resolve your doubts, because that fast tracks your growth, and that is the luckiest spot to be in. But if you don't get that, still you can build that connection with Guru, follow his teachings, and have that faith, and then that connection will start deepening over time, right? Because their physical association is not binding or limiting at that point.
Sure. So the reason for asking that question, second question, was the grace point of view, right? So we are following the Guru, but the Guru's grace is important. Without that, it will be
Yes,
difficult.
two parts. So it's a very technical question you asked. I would have touched upon it tomorrow. There are two things Gurus do. When you purify, they work on purifying you, right? That can happen if you follow their teachings. Then they do Yogakshem. Okay. Yogakshem can happen remotely. He could be doing it from Golok. He could do it from, even if he's in avatar in some other planet or Brahmand, that can happen remotely. The Prem Dan requires physical association. When you are ready, somehow he will come. Okay, he could come through some person, or he could take a avatar, express avatar, look at you, touch you, slap you, box you, could be anything, give you Prem Dan and move off. So it's a very technical question you asked. So Yogakshem can be done remotely by Guru. The Prem Dan will be done in person, physically. Okay, it could be through anything. They don't have to give you a Guru mantra. They could do it with their eyes. They could do it with a hug. They could give it with a slap. Could be anywhere. So when that happens, when you're ready, Guru will make sure he comes in front of you, touches you, looks at you, does something, and then you are a done deal.
Okay, waiting for that, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Guru is always with you. Okay, he's noting every action of yours. He's always with you. Okay, that realization we have to deepen. Okay, that is how strong that association is. It's not like it's a very deep concept, but yeah, that's how it works. So Prem Dan, he will definitely come. Yogakshem, he doesn't have to. He can continue doing it remotely.
Thank you, Nitinji. We'll move on to next. Manoranjanji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yes, Manoranjanji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe, Namaskaram to all of you. On the eve of Guru Purnima, actually a great topic is being discussed and a lot of insights have come about. So first of all, thank to the entire JK Yoga team for bringing out all this concept. Very good. What I understand from the discussion, because I have been presently listening to all the discussions, what I understand is that we are discussing the concept of Guru in a personifications. We understand that a Guru is a person, but absolutely Guru is not a person. Guru is a concept altogether. So when we say, when in Bhagavad Gita it is written that Jnaninam Tattvadarsinam, approach a spiritual master. So spiritual master becomes part of the concept. It is not the concept altogether. So therefore, Guru is pluralism. So when a person is born, he is automatically associated with the Guru. His father and mother become the first Guru. For a child who is born, his mother his or her mother becomes the first Guru. So till the time you are birth, until the time you die, you are always associated with a Guru, whether knowingly or unknowingly. You have persons, those you will teach. The person who teaches you, the person who knows more than you, is actually a Guru for you. Okay. So the concept is that we should understand, because it is nothing like a person that this person is my Guru and that person maybe is my Guru. Guru is a Tattva. So therefore, we should bow down to the Tattva. And we should respect each and every Gurus in the world. Because you see, in Bhagavatam, Dattatreya had made 24 Gurus. He learned from a python. You will be astonishing to know that a python, you cannot just go near a python, he will eat you. But Dattatreya learned from him. Dattatreya learned from a bee. How is it possible? How can we gain concept? It is possible. Nature is the biggest Guru. So Guru Tattva is everywhere, all around you. So you tune in, you will get the right person. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manoranjanji, for your insightful views around it. So in this particular context, yes, anything that teaches us is Guru. but it is qualified with the term called Tattvadarshina as well, one who has seen the truth. Right? Python has not seen the truth. So yes, in a way, that is also Guru. That is why we say when we approach scriptures, if we look at it selectively with our own intellect, we will take a very limited meaning out of it. Only a real Guru who has seen the truth can explain us in great depths, and to the extent we need to understand. The true import can come again from a Guru. Everything is a Guru, right? Ant is a Guru, mother is a Guru, father is a Guru, true, right? But are they Tattvadarshi? Is the question. Can they take us across Maya? Is the question. Have they seen the truth? Is the question. Are they scripturally well versed? Is the question. So we have to look at it in entirety and what benefits us. Otherwise, we will get lost in our own interpretations and take a drop where the whole ocean was available to us. So we have to look at it in entirety. And what is being discussed here is a definition coming from Swamiji and Maharajji. And that is what we are discussing here. But thank you, nevertheless, for your insights. Okay, let's take the next one.
Swati ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Swati ji.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. I can just tell my story of this. I'll not take more time. I'll take within 2 minutes. I'll finish it.
Intriguing topic, so I know we have. Please go ahead.
When I came here in this JQ, I was not aware of this all. I was just came here for the Bhagavad Gita because I was reading Bhagavad Gita. I was not knowing the meaning of Bhagavad Gita. Just reading the chapters, 18 chapters every day, one chapter. But when I came here in JQ and Swamiji, I met him in December in Mumbai. He came here for session. But that time I did not feel that faith or that attraction of magnet and all that. I went to attend the session and I came back, but that attraction was not there. But that time I was finding Guru because I was seeing the Swamiji's and Maharaj's video. In Maharaj's video, Maycon series, when I got that knowledge, that who am I and my purpose, that time I felt I want the Guru. And I was really very crying for that, Radharani, I want the Guru. And then that Swamiji came after that. Even though I could not feel that attraction, but still I was asking for Guru, that I want the Guru, I want the Guru. And then when I came in this JQ from January, slowly that faith and that all started coming for the Swamiji. I don't know how it happened. And thank God, earlier I was asking for material thing. I would have gone in the wrong path and meet some fake Guru, and I would have gone in that birth and all that path. But I was lucky that I didn't go that path, and I came in this path. And then slowly that faith has increased in me. And then now I have come to this, that I was not prepared for getting the Guru that time, I think. Because I think I have wasted my 50 years of life in just going this material life and all that. But now that faith and that attraction, it has been so strong that now I can feel that, yeah, Swamiji and Maharajji is my Guru. And my life's aim is to get purified this and all, whatever we are getting the knowledge, that we have to make our intention pure. We have to do purity of the heart. And thank you for that, God, that He landed me up in this path. So that was my journey. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
You are one of the fortunate souls, I should say. Not only you met the Guru, right? That connection was established, but also that faith got reinforced, right? Both things, if it happened in one lifetime, nothing like it. You have hit a lottery. You have hit a jackpot. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you for you all. Even Nitinji, your lectures inspired me so lot. And then I am not going to leave this now. For the JKO, I am going to live for lifelong till the last breath. Thank you.
That's very hearty. You can call these sessions, okay? I'm not even entitled to do that. I simply relate what a little I can understand from Swamiji and all. And it's usually beneficial for me as well, if you look at it, right? Sitting here talking about it, and that helps you, that knowledge goes deeper and deeper. So, but beautiful realization, Swatiji, and all the very best on this journey. I'm sure it's only going to get better from here on. All right.
Moving on. Yeah, Revaji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, we can take us 3 and 10:30.
Somehow not able to unmute her. Again, I'll try to.
Revaji, we'll have to unmute yourself. Let's move on to the next one in the meantime.
Yes. Sandhya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Sandhya ji. Long time no see. Please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, I just wanted to mention this thing that I heard from Swamiji yesterday in terms of why do we need a Guru. A guru has experienced the divine love that we are seeking to experience. So only a guru can give us that tool or that eyesight to kind of visualize and experience that. And another thing that Swamiji had said was that information is just collection of facts, but knowledge is the true wisdom that one experiences from inside, or it comes from in true internal experiences, and that only a guru has because they are God realized. We are not.
True.
We cannot get true knowledge without a guru. So
very true. We can only collect information. Very true. And guru can actually implant wisdom in you as well based on your Sharanagati. See, for you to acquire a wisdom or knowledge or that depth of wisdom, right, that you're talking about, could take up to a lifetime. But guru has an ability to just give it to you like a pill and you have it. It becomes realized knowledge. Only guru can do that. But he cannot flout God's rules around that as well. It is given to you based on the level of your Sharanagati. Okay, so that is the power guru has. So without guru, this journey can never be done. So we should just pray to God that please make me meet somebody who connects with me and make it so favorable around me that faith also comes and relatives also support me and somehow that connect gets established. Just pray to God until then, because going solo on this journey will not take you far. Scriptures are very clearly telling us. So let's hear from Revaji as well.
Yes, Revaji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yes, Revaji.
Can't hear you. I think you are unmuted. Please go ahead.
You are muted now.
Yeah, somehow not able to hear
Let's
you.
hear from Manish ji then.
Yes, Manish ji, Radhe Radhe, please go
And then
ahead.
Sam ji has raised as well. So let's take two hands. If
Radhe Radhe, am I audible?
yes,
Yes.
very good.
Okay, so I'll just quickly share my journey. It started, I've been, doing prarthana ever since, like bhajans and stuff, since I was little. But I came from a toxic nature in terms of I easily get angry. I used to get angry a lot. And so basically, short term story, there was a lot of problems that came about because of it. And 9-10 years ago, I said, what am I doing? And then I turned to God and I started meditation. And then I said, I need to clean my house, basically, so God can. And like Nitinji, you said, things can happen really quickly. So I've been doing meditations for like 9 years. And I never heard of JKO till February, as when I first came across Swamiji's video this February. And then it just immediately started to, because I love the Bhagavad Gita. I've listened to it on audio and so much. So when Swamiji was explaining about Bhagavad Gita and everything, every single video had Bhagavad Gita or something from Bhagavad Gita, it just attracted me to that. And then I was doing the classes, and I've been continuing doing the classes and everything. But, due to like my wife's, I think the journey I went through made me a better, stronger person because I was a feeble, emotional minded, and my faith grew stronger. And it actually helped me to deal with my wife's major medical ailment, which I mentioned to you guys earlier. And, so I think for me, I've never met Swamiji yet. I haven't met him in person because I can't be in gatherings yet. My wife's doctor has prevented from travel and gatherings. But I have faith in God and I have faith in that, so I've been graced with God graced me with a guru like Swamiji. And like it just felt like a deeper heart connection that whatever he says, I want to listen to it wholeheartedly and apply it in my life. So that's kind of a short version of my journey. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Thank you so much, Manishi, and our best wishes to you. And may God gives you a lot of strength and devotion as you go along, because see, problems would remain in life regardless who we are.
Yeah.
The way we approach those problems would change, and that will give us a lot of learnings, a lot of strength, and that deepen the connection with God. So I'm sure you're taking it in the right spirit, and our best wishes with you. And thank you so much for sharing that, Manishi.
Yeah, and it says, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
You can do it.
yeah, it says that God, I think there's something I read. God gives us direct suffering for spiritual progress. So I take things as prasad buddhi and just accept whatever comes my way.
That's the
So,
best way to look at it. Best way to look at it.
yeah.
And I'm glad you
Yeah.
had that realization. Thank you so much for sharing that. We'll take the last one.
Yes.
Bunny
Great.
from
Thank you.
Golok. Bunny
Yes.
from
Thank
Golok.
you, Manish ji, for sharing.
Yes, Bunny
Yes.
from Golok. We can.
Yes, Bunny from Golok. Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Sanji.
So okay, from all the two lectures, the thing that I understood is from our side. I mean, it should be from both sides, from disciple side and guru side. First, we should be prepared. We should have the very really sincere thirst for God, and we should be humble. We should be ready to surrender to a true guru. And in that, when we are in that state, I mean, our heart could be impure, our mind, intellect, heart could be impure, but if we have thirst for God and if we really cry to Krishna to show us the guru, then he will definitely show us, meet us with the true guru. But if there is any tinge of impurity in our desire, then we are sure to be misled into into the wrong hands.
Very true. You just summed it up, what we discussed today, and beautifully summed it up, Samji. If we have a trace of selfishness or impurity in the reason for which we are seeking a guru, it can easily put us in wrong hands. And that is the reason why we land up with so many different kind of people around this world. Very nice.
And when we start hearing from that guru, our faith will be firmed because of the change that is coming in us. The changes we will hanker more, that longing for God will increase, and the detachment from world will decrease. That is the true sign that Krishna, that God has met us with true guru.
Beautiful. Samji, you are getting the Tattva Gyan just perfectly now. I know we are late, so maybe a minute each and then we'll wrap it up. It's very late for Pallavi ji. I don't want to hold her back. I know we've had an extended session already. One minute each. Ashutosh ji, you want to sing something?
Go ahead. Radhe Radhe, Ashutosh ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up in
Radhe Radhe.
Yeah.
Actually, when Samji talking about Guru Sishes, and I remember one Bhakti Stuck though actually little bit.
Go ahead.
I'll say. प्रथम साधना भक्ति करूं तब मन निर्मल होए राधे राधे मिलै विशुद्धा भक्ति तब गुरु अनुकंपा होए राधे राधे
जय राधे कृष्ण
हे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे जय राधे जय राधे राधे.
Beautiful, Ashutosh ji. Thank you so much for bringing that. Great. Nirmal Man, and then we get the Vishuddha Bhakti. That is the whole thing. And without Nirmal Man, we cannot get Vishuddha Bhakti. Without Vishuddha Bhakti, we cannot get God. And Nirmal Man technology only Guru has. So that again gives you the reason why we should need to have Guru. You cannot do the Nirmal Man without a Guru. Yes, Payalji, real quick.
Yes, Radhe Radhe, Payalji, please go ahead.
Yes, Radhe Radhe, everyone. Just real quick one. What I wanted to share is earlier I was looking for I have heard from so many people that God is around, but I never experienced that. But the moment I came in contact with Swamiji, I have started. I have started that God is around. I have started having the feeling that He is there, and that feeling was lacking earlier, but now I have no questions. People say that I have to ask this question to Guru. I want to ask this. I want to ask that. I have no questions, nothing. I just want to listen to him, and everything is getting answered automatically. And it's like I'm just sitting and having that kind of experience. And this is the thing which which has I would just quickly like to share one episode that I've recently on the visit to Dwarkadesh temple, and the amount of connection I felt with the deities, I had never in my life experienced before. I had been to that temple many a time, like many a time, but after getting in touch with JKU family, and after uh, listening to Swamiji and Maharaji's discourses, the amount of connection I felt with the deity, I was like, I just could not remove my eyes off the idol. And there was a so many people in the temple. Like you all know that in these dhams, herds of people are there, and just to attend one aarti, it is like you have to be in that queue for half an hour, 45 minutes just to get closer to that. And I just you'll be surprised to know that Nitinji, like the thing is, I was standing there, and might be like every time I went into that lane, and I had the darshan of Deeti. Again, I went back into that lane, and I was, continuously standing in that line again and again, and just to get that darshan. And I continuously did it for 3-4 times. I mean, like, I don't know what was that. I was standing in the queue. I was going there, and again after getting the darshan, because they don't let you stand for lot, like
Understood.
for yes. So they'll tell you, okay, have a darshan and move. So the thing is, again I went back into that lane, and again I stood there for half an hour, 45 minutes. Again I went there, but the amount of connection I was feeling with the deity, it is just speechless. Like so I just wanted to share this. And this is what I think Guru, the whole conversation we were having for past 1 hour between the connection of Guru and the disciple. This is what is the connection I felt, that I have gone more closer to the God, and that is what is my realization. So
Beautiful. Proof is in the pudding, and you gave a beautiful example. That is, it's exactly what we were discussing. Anurag towards God is what you will start feeling, and it is a heart connection. Even though we are doing it online, if you have a connect with the real Guru, online, like lectures and all that stuff, and you have accepted them as a Guru in your heart, that is all is needed. You don't need to go physically, hear some mantra and all that stuff. Nothing is needed. That connection is good enough for you to start reaping the benefits. You said doubts are getting resolved. That is a sure shot proof of God's grace. I told you, the doubts, the knowledge is implanted in you so that you can progress on this path with devotion. All the questions will get answered. And this is such a beautiful realization. And we wish you the very best, Palji. Keep inspiring us as well, and keep yourself inspired, and keep journaling these experiences as well. This is very, very precious. And you're building some
I
good
really have, whenever people ask that, do you have any question, or I really have no question at all, no question, nothing. I'm just having the feeling that earlier, when people say that God is everywhere, I never used to have that experience, but now I have started experiencing that He is watching me. He is, whatever I am doing, even if I'm talking to my children, even if I'm cooking, even if I'm taking my class, whatever I'm doing, I'm feeling that He is there, He's sitting there, He's watching me. So I've started having that experience, and this is what is connecting me with Swamiji and Maharaji. So
your
just
excitement
wanted
is so
to.
palpable. I can see that. You don't have any questions, but you have all the answers. Okay, so you should answer a lot of participants from here on. And Mirabai is, I think, not far away from you, right? So you have a good role model there as well. But I would say
I really,
for
the
Gopiji.
moment, yeah, the moment, and exactly, you said, this is what you said. I've started listening to Mirabai's bhajan, and every day my eyes are in tears. I don't know. I mean,
Start reading Premras Madhira. Okay, get into the Gopi Bhavs. That will give you even more bliss. So I think you're ready for that. So very nice, and thanks for sharing that. Let's keep talking more on these sessions. Okay, Pallaviji, all your prerogative. I just see one more hand. We want to hear Urvi real quick.
Yes.
Yes, Urvi, go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Urviji, please.
Welcome back, Urvi. Seeing you after a long time. So hope you're doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing good, Radhe Radhe. I just wanted to share a small anecdote. Like when I was saved by my guru while taking the wrong path. So what happened is I started after connecting with Maharaji. Few months later, I started learning some mantras. Like I'll say this mantra before studying and to to study well, and then I'll say this mantra to feel good and things like that. Then one day some Jain bhikshuks, they came at our home, and then I recited the mantras in front of them, and then I went to meet them. So it just happened just like that. And then I don't know, when I went there, I got such a negative vibe. I was like, what am I didn't think anything, but just something from inside is just pulled me away. And then I never did that again. So I did nothing, but it happened. So that was the grace of my guru. That is what I wanted to share.
It's a good
Thank you.
realization. It happens, and it happens a lot of times. You are saved from things, then in hindsight, there was some divine intervention that happened. And that experience, that realizations will keep on deepening. You will have more frequent such of those kind of experiences as you keep progressing on this path, as you keep on aligning to the guru's instructions, as you keep on working sincerely towards your spiritual goal. These will keep on happening more frequently, and these realizations will also keep on getting deepening. That is how beautiful this journey is. Wonderful. I think we have had probably one of the longest sessions today.
Yeah, just a quick request, Nitinji. Aarti ji wants to see the slide. Some of the slides she wanted to show.
I have already shown that, Aarti ji. Will that suffice? I did that for a bit. Can you give
Was that the one?
With Pratyaksh Praman, I did that.
Yes, Pratyaksh Praman.
I already did that. Aarti ji, did you get that, or can you confirm that either way? Or you want to see that again?
I think then if she requested you, and then I think it should be done.
Yeah, I did share that, or I'm sharing it for just for a minute, and then we can do our closing prayers. I know we are way over. It's one of the sessions we have had, but it's a very intriguing, interesting discussion that we had. So hopefully we all.
And Shruti ji wants to know, Nitinji, that where can she learn the Bhakti Shatak? How to, where she can play that? Is that on YouTube?
Bhakti Shatak, I can send you the PDF, Shruti, if you want to go through that. It's a very, very deep and profound thing. It's like the whole of scriptures are, but then you have to listen to the commentary. Ashutosh ji, if you want to have some suggestions around that, because you are doing some very beautiful singing around it.
Yes.
Or to give some suggestions on the group to Shruti ji, post that message on CIC group. That way everybody can benefit from it. Because you are our expert in Bhakti Shatak right now.
No, Nitinji, I am never like that. Actually, JKOK India organizing 2 classes also for Bhakti Shatak, one in Hindi and one in English.
Okay.
8 p.m. Monday, I think, and it is in Hindi, and from Friday it will be Friday today only, na? From 8 p.m. IST it will be in English.
Yeah, you can attend those classes, and also I'll send you a PDF, online PDF. That way you can read on your own and remember it. I mean, if you start to memorize it, nothing like it. It has the essence of all the scriptures. One couplet, if you read it very simply, you will say, okay, it's simple. Swamiji can actually speak on one couplet for hours and hours together. In some of his retreats, it picks it up. Amazing. And it is said when Maharaji was writing that, he used to converse with Vedic Richas. Direct conversation. Okay, this is the sense, and then I'm going to put it, and that is how deep it is. So, anyways, tomorrow we are going to discuss more on Guru and the type of Gurus. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Let's have our closing prayers, and I can see.
Urvi ji has shared the YouTube link somehow.
Oh, you already, Urvi, very nice. Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
Shruti, hope you got that.
Yeah, I think I'm unable to copy it from here. Let me try doing it.
Urvi, maybe if you want to post that in that group, if you are there.
In the group, yeah, that.
No, in YouTube, if you search from Bhakti Shatak, it will come directly. First video only. It is very nice. 1 hour, 2 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, you can
get. In YouTube, you search Bhakti Shatak, directly it comes. And I have shared that couplet also, Pallavi ji, you can think.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes, thanks. Yeah.
But so many resources, and we will keep on bringing Bhakti Shatak references and a bit of commentary as well from time to time as needed, during our discussions as well. Let's do our closing prayers now. Sorry,
Yes.
Vandanaji, and thank you for hanging around for so long. We almost doubled our session.
My pleasure always, like such kind of topic. It's my pleasure to be here.
That was a very intriguing discussion today for sure.
Yes.
Okay, let's do our closing prayers.
Yes, Surendraji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Prabhu. Thank you very much. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukha bhav bhave. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you. Radhe Radhe. Thank you, everybody. Wonderful day. Great rest of your evenings. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, Nitinji, for awesome session. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day. Have a great day. Radhe Radhe. See you
Radhe.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.